Hey everybody. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview of Canva so you understand why we're using it and some of the very basics. I'm going to add a couple other videos to guide you on how to use it, but I wanted to break it up so this wasn't like you're staring at a screen for 5 million hours. Okay, so why are we using Canva? First and foremost, Canva is a really easy template-based visual design editor. It's entirely online, which is handy because it means everything is saved to their cloud. And it does mean that no matter what computer you're on, if your computer crashes, that's okay because you can just log online on another computer and everything stays online. I also find it to be a lot more accessible, where let's say Adobe Photoshop allows for a lot of nuance, a lot of artistic interpretation and engagement. For some people, that's really overwhelming, including me, myself. And so I actually find Canva to be a little bit simpler. It's more sophisticated than, say, most word processing programs like Google Docs or Microsoft Word, but it's not so sophisticated that it takes you forever to learn how to use it. So I actually find this really useful, and that's why I use it in my own classroom. So let's actually get you started. So the other cool thing about Canva is it's free. Well, mostly free. I'll clarify that in a minute. But because it's free to log in and use the majority of their things, when you get to the home page, again, www.canva.com, all you got to do is click this education button to sign up. Since you're students, we might as well go through this way. So what you can do is just click education. And you can either sign up through Google or sign up through your email. Now, I've signed up through Google. I just find it easier. Then I don't have to worry if something happens with my online school account, that I have to worry about what will happen to sort of my offline account or these different programs like this. But you can sign up through your email. Okay, so like this, create a password, prove you're not a robot, or alternatively, click on Google to sign in. So I'm going to go, this is going to lead me straight to my home page. Now, I just want to do a quick point of clarification. There's now two versions of Canva, Canva 1.0 and Canva 2.0. And if you look over here, you'll notice that it says use Canva 1.0. That tells me right now I'm in Canva 2.0. If you used to use Canva, your old designs, as you notice here, I've got lots and lots of designs I've created. You can only edit them in Canva 1.0. But if you have not used Canva before, just stick with 2.0. It's a lot faster, it's a lot nicer, it's a lot more sophisticated. So I would just stay with 2.0 like we are here. And this main page is where you can either start to create your design or find any of your old designs here. So let's say I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to create. I'm looking for some inspiration. So under the creative design, you can either search for something. They have some examples here. So, or you can kind of look through the design here. Now there's lots of things that they tell you, right? Here's like, okay, I could create something that would be well shaped for Facebook, or maybe Facebook cover, Instagram post. For those of you who might want to do logos, I mean, there's tons of different options. You can kind of peruse if you just click this button over here. Got things like skyscraper ads, announcements, different programs, or you can just search on here, which is typically what I tend to do. So let's say I wanted to create an infographic. Okay, so it has this option that pops up. If I click on this option, it's going to bring me straight to the editing page. But I want to make a quick note that when you choose the infographic, it always formats it automatically in 800 pixels by 2000 pixels. But if you don't like that proportion, sort of this length and height here, then you can actually create your own custom dimensions. This button here, you can click on that and choose a width and a height. Just keep in mind that pixels are very, very tiny. And so if you can't imagine how big a pixel is, I would go with inches millimeters or centimeters, so you get a sense of what the dimensions would look like in real life. I didn't realize that the first time I chose pixels and I made the world's tiniest infographic, it was really impossible to work with. So just keep that in mind if you want to choose your own dimensions. But I'm perfectly happy jumping in with the dimensions that they've given me. So with that in mind, if you look at the side, you'll see there's all kinds of templates that they've created, and they've actually categorized quite a few of them. So if you want to do something that seems to be more educational, one that's more about the process, i.e. how to do something, one that's meant more for businesses, one that's a timeline, things that might be good for charities, and then they have like all of the different templates. And as you can tell, they have tons and tons and tons of options. I mean, this just keeps going. And the one thing you want to make sure, and this is something that's crucial, is you always want to double check to see if they say free on them. Anything that doesn't say free on it means they have some images that do cost money. There are some images, some graphics and things like that that they will charge you for. So just make sure you can choose one that costs money, but then you have to go through and make sure you've deleted out anything that costs money. How do you tell? It'll tell you remove the watermarks. That means you got to pay for it. So this one doesn't say remove watermarks. That one's free. This one says remove watermarks. You got to delete it if you want it to not cost you anything. So with that in mind, that's how you choose. Start with a template. I'm going to show you how to change a template in a later video. But I want to give you a couple basics on saving and making sure that you have your project is updated. And then also we're going to show you how to find some tutorials if you get a little stuck. So first and foremost, if you go to this top here, you'll notice over here that all changes are saved. It does auto-save like Google Drive. So if I decide I want to change a font, you'll notice it says unsaved changes. And then in a little bit, it will auto-save depending on, oh, here we go. Now that I've moved and changed something. But let's say that I want to change the name. I don't want this to be called Blooms for Beginners. Even though it'll stay, this will stay the same, but I want to change the title. I might go. And now I've got a new title for this. And then if you need to undo an action, you can click this button here. File allows you to maybe make a copy if you want to kind of, make multiple copies for multiple people to look at. You can download, which I'll talk about in a later video, margins, etc. So these are the basics. If you get stuck, if you need more help, like I said, I'll have more videos for you, but they also have a pretty extensive online tutorial system. And so what you can do is if you search for tutorials or you go to www.canva.com/learn/tutorials, they've got a whole list of quick tutorials that can kind of give you the basics. They've got some beginner tutorials, and then down here, or if you explore around, you'll find some more advanced ones. Now, if you're stuck using Canva 1.0, you do need to look at a different set of tutorials. So make sure you are using the right kinds of tutorials. And they're pretty easy to go through. They'll give you some ideas on how to do some things. But yeah, you're always also welcome to come into my office hours, ask questions. I'm pretty familiar with this program, so I can help you out. All right, so with that in mind, I hope you enjoy designing your project. Keep your eyes out for more videos to come and have a wonderful day.